Welcome to Chinmaya Academy for Civil Services. I am Dr Satya Sunder Sethy. I born and brought up in a small village in Odisha, Balasore district. I completed my bachelor in Odisha and I did my BA in philosophy. Then I found out so much interest in philosophy subject. From there, I went to Central University of Hyderabad to pursue my MA in philosophy career. After that, I did my PhD in philosophy. After completion of PhD in philosophy, I went to IGNOU and joined there as an assistant professor of philosophy. After working for many years in IGNOU, Maidangari, New Delhi, I joined in IIT Madras. And since then, I have been teaching philosophy to many undergraduate and postgraduate students. And most interestingly, when I was there in IGNOU, I developed the BA philosophy program and I helped many national and international students for their subject content learning. What I found is that philosophy is related to human life directly or inferentially. Any problems, any issues that we encounter in our day-to-day activities are directly related to philosophy. So therefore, I welcome you to enroll in philosophy course and understand how it is easy and how is it related to human life. How to be successful in the UPSC civil service examinations. There will be 3 questions that all the UPSC aspirants they need to ask themselves. The first question, do you have a desire to be an IAS, IPS, IFS and so and so? If your answer is yes, then move on to the second question, that are you dedicated to prepare for the civil services examination? Still, if you get your answer yes, go to the third question and you ask that have you determined to become an IAS, IFS, IPS? If all your answers to these 3 questions are a yes, so it simply means that your desire, dedication and determination that will lead to success. So therefore, all of you should have these questions in your mind and therefore you should be able to join for a coaching program or for preparing for civil services. And I am here to help you in every stage of your preparations to achieve the goal of your life. So with this I would say, join the philosophy optional program and achieve the success in your life. The most important questions all these UPSC aspirants they ask, what kind of optional subject they'll keep so that they can score good and they can able to test the success of their life. So in that sense, I would say philosophy is one among the other optionals. One can think that whether to keep philosophy as an optional or not. Now, keeping that in mind, I found that there are 3 questions mostly students ask. The first one, shall I choose philosophy as an optional subject for the main civil services examination? That's the first question. The second question, mostly the UPSC aspirants they ask, shall philosophy syllabus make me score good in the main examination? And the third question also people ask, that shall philosophy subject be taught with novel teaching methods for my content learning and preparation for civil service examinations? Now I am going to answer these questions one after another. Now consider that the first question, here I would give the reasons to select philosophy subject so that all of your doubt can be clarified. The first and foremost reason that I would give to all of you that it has a short syllabus. In comparison to other subject, in philosophy subject, you will find the syllabus is very short. And therefore, you need less preparations and within the less period of time, your preparation would be enough to understand the subject content and know all the required informations for the examinations. The third one, I would say, availability of resources. Now, a student may ask the questions whether we have all the resources available to study philosophy subject. I would say yes. With regard to availability of resources, here I wish to tell all of you that we will provide all the relevant book, all the relevant materials to all of you, so that it will not be difficult for you to search the content from so many materials. So therefore, you will be putting the less effort, but you will have impactful learning. Then the next one is competition level. As you know that philosophy course is not offered in so many academic. The reason behind that, philosophy course needs certain expertise to be taught to the students, so that students can learn what is really required for them. So over here, we are dedicated and committed to teach you philosophy so that you can able to test the success of your life. And you will be competing with less number of people, and if you learn philosophy clearly and correctly, you are going to get very good score in your main examination. Then the most important part is that you should have an interest in philosophy subject. Because without having interest, if you're reading something, you will feel like reading something artificial. But if you have an interest in philosophy, and we are ready to help you, if two things you put together, your learning will be a great learning, because you will keep interest in philosophy and go on reading the content that we would wish you to read for your subject content learning. The next one that you need to find out whether the philosophy course content is overlapping with any other general studies paper. And here I would say that if you consider the general studies paper, the fourth one, most of the content you find overlapping. So therefore, at a time, you will be preparing for philosophy mains as well as GS paper 4. And in addition to that, you will be developing an analytic ability and comprehensive skills to write an essay. And with regard to essay writing, the minimum we are expecting, you will be scoring 180 plus out of the 250 marks. So therefore, you will be taken care of many more ways if you consider philosophy as an optional subject. The next question that I ask, usually you will have in your mind, that how much one can score in philosophy. Here I would say, let us put the target that 375 minimum, and I would say that depending on your commitment to philosophy subject, you can score more than 375. But minimum I will fix 375 is the mark out of 500, because you have a philosophy optional paper 1 and optional paper 2. And out of 500, here we are committed that all the students should be scored 375 minimum. And how shall we do that? If that is the question that comes to your mind, my answer are in the following manner. The first, I would say, if you closely observe, there is no addition to the existing syllabus. Unlike in other courses, in this course, there is no further addition to the syllabus. And the second most important part is that if you find one question or one topic, you can answer that from multiple perspectives. That is beauty of the philosophy. And the third one, there is a freedom to answer your question. What it means? It means, suppose a question is come from a particular topic. You can think how to answer that questions by considering your choice of preferences, which perspective you will take into account and answer that. In philosophy, one question may not have one answer. One question have multiple answers. In a sense, from multiple perspectives, one can answer the questions. The way I told you that philosophy is related to human life. Everybody experiences human life uniquely. So therefore, the way you answer the questions, you should not think whether it is correct or incorrect. It would be necessarily correct if your perspective of answering the question is correct. And in the process, what you are going to do, you are reading less but learning more. And that's called impactful learning. And easy to learn the subject content merely because you will be attending classes, You will be reading through the PPT, and also you will be reading the subject content from the textbook. So 3 things put together, your learning would be memorable for you, and all the informations that you really require to prepare for the civil service examination, that would be more than enough. Then I would say the questions, if you see for the last 5 years, 6 years, questions in philosophy optional, mostly all the questions were open-ended. It means that it would give a scope for you to think about the questions, to answer the questions from your perspective, and the way you will arrange the answer to a question, that may be a unique one, but it may not be an incorrect one. Unlike the other subjects, in philosophy subjects, you have a freedom to arrange your answer the way you want to answer the question. So with this, we have answered your second query, that why a student should keep philosophy as an optional subject in the main examination, and what are the ways he or she should prepare so that he or she can target the minimum 375 marks out of 500. And here, if a student can able to relate the philosophy content and develop the analytic ability, comprehensive skill for essay writing, here you can get minimum 180 marks out of 250. That's a more wonderful. In addition to that, there is an overlapping that you find philosophy subject with general studies paper 4 that tells about the ethics, aptitude and integrity. So therefore, you are really taken care of all your studies, and you can able to score really high in the mains examinations. Concerning the third question, that what are the plans and methods we have to engage the philosophy course over here. Here I would say that if we develop the novel teaching method, then perhaps this should be more appropriate for all the UPSC aspirant students. So here, therefore, I would say that we'll be having 4 months classes, and if required, few more we can add to that. Similarly, we'll have 65 plus hours of lectures and discussion while engaging the classes. Then in addition to that, we have planned that we'll be having 10 plus tests. That means once in a 15 days, there will be test. This is all about a data set. Then moving on, I would say, we will be adopting the novel teaching method, and therefore there will be impactful learning that you can experience while attending the classes and learning the subject content. We'll also plan to have the personalized assessment feedback system to all of you, and we'll be giving the assessment feedback to all of you personally once in a 15 days, so that you know how much you have learned and how much you need to learn further. So therefore, before you sit for the mains examination, you would be comfortable enough to know how much you are going to score it. You will develop the confidence and conviction from your side. In addition to that, teaching materials will be sharing with you all, and PowerPoint slide which I will be using to help you to learn the philosophy subject content, that also I will share with you, so that you can able to relate your understanding by seeing the information that are mentioned in the PowerPoint. And last but not the least, if some of you need some extra classes to clarify your doubts or concerns, we are here to help you. So with this, I would say that all the best to the UPSC civil service aspirants, and I wish to see you in the class. Thank you.